Garrison, thank you for being here.
Hey, I'm
This,
glad to be here.
yeah.
So we're gonna do a little to make it fair. Since white goes first, we have a little trick to make it fair in the game of chance. Take one pawn of white, one of black, put them in your hands, and shake them up into the to see, and then then so I can't see. There you go. And then I'll congratulations on being married.
Oh,
Wait, it switched.
wait, what?
Ring. I said ring finger.
Oh, okay. So it is black.
Yes. There we go. Cool. Well, you have the first move. So let's see. Let's make sure you got all the pieces right. Good. So I think the most popular move and like one of the most common is what we'd call E4. It's your king's pawn goes moving two steps. So pawns can move either one step forward, or on the first move they can move two.
Yes.
And so what you want to do is you want to have control of the middle of the board, and that's the idea behind having the move right there. The pawn is like right in the middle of the board, and that pawns attack diagonally, right? But here's another fancy trick, and called en passant, which is a French like we call it a French move. But if you move, say you moved your pawn, so move your pawn one more space forward, pass it. So now move my bishop's there we go. My bishop on the side of the king.
Yes.
Yeah, move the pawn two in front. If I did that and the two pawns are like right there next to each other, you would be able to take my pawn from behind. Because it's called en passant, means in passing. You're not allowed to like pass up, an attack. Let's go back to just how you had it. The king's pawn out, and I didn't move. But also, so then another popular counter move would be D5, which is me moving my king's pawn to meet yours.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then from there, they're kind of like in a stalemate. They can't attack each other because you can only attack diagonally. So the next move, so what you want to do is ideally is develop your pieces, meaning just getting them into position to fight. Okay. So another good move is that does accomplish both of these things, getting them out from behind and also attacking, is your king's knight.
Okay.
Yeah, so do you know how those move?
This one is the L shape.
Yeah, the L shape. So two spaces and then one space over. Or one, yeah, so like that. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, the next move to get it.
Yeah, that's a good starting opening move. So I want you to put that back though and put it on the other. What's another move that you have with the knight? Yeah, that is one move. So, but there's a saying, knights on the rim are dim. And that is because knights their power basically lays, and you can jump over pieces, so they're very effective in the beginning of the game when there's a lot of pieces, because you can just jump over, but if you put it on the side, you're very limited to where you can go to.
Okay.
And I will move my queen side knight out.
Queen's knight.
Yes, right there. To defend. See, now I'm defending my piece. So now a good move is your bishop next to your king, and bishops move in what way?
Only diagonal?
Yeah, only diagonal. So you can move it. Either one move would be to move it all the way out and attack my knight, is one way, or you can move it to like the center line.
Okay, wait. How would it? Oh, to attack your.
Yeah. So that's a good move right there. See, and now already you have good control of the board, especially like the white spaces. That's another strategy as well. If you like try to just attack on white spaces, then I can only, that makes some of my pieces really like worthless in some way. Like my bishop, now that you have all this, all these pawns are attacking all the white space. The bishop is attacking the same white spaces. So like that space that both the pawn and bishop are attacking, make that space really like, you've got it in control. That I think leads into point system. If you take my knight and then I take your bishop back, they're similar in points. So basically it's a trade. You know what the point system for all of the pieces are?
I feel like I know the importance ratio, but not the points themselves.
No. Cool. Well, so I'll start off. Pawns are worth 1, knights and bishop 3, rooks are worth 5.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the queen is said to be worth 9. She can move in all directions, omnidirectional. And the king is not really worth any points because you can't take the king, basically. So a good trade is like a bishop for a knight or knight for bishop. But not a good trade would be to lose your rook to maybe a bishop in a trade. Now let's see, what am I going to do here? I am going to move my other knight out.
Okay.
So, yes. So this is a good standard position. I don't know what the opening is called. There's like every opening, there's possible. There's like, it's like the Italian or the English opening and the Sicilian defense. And there's like endless lines of openings basically that you can study, and there's different lines that they branch off of. And then after that, it gets to be like crazy. I heard something, there's like, there's more possible scenarios on a chessboard than there are like atoms on the planet. Fun fact. So let's get into castling. Do you know what castling is?
No.
So castling is a way for you to defend your king, and there has to be a few prerequisites for this to happen. One, you can't have moved your king, you can't have moved your rook, and you also can't be in check, and you can't do it in a way that would make you be in check. But castling is basically you move your king in two spaces and then you put your rook over. So you haven't moved your king or your rook. Right. So what you can do is move your king over 2 spaces. Yeah, and then the rook hops over to the other side.
Can jump?
Yeah, but only in this case. Oh. It's just a way to protect your king and also kind of get your rook in a more central way to be able to use it. Okay. But you can also do it queen side.
Okay.
And there'll be more spaces, and the rook will jump further, but it works the same way. King in 2 spaces, rook over. So your next move will be move your other knight out, your queenside knight out.
Okay.
Then you're developing your pieces. At the same time, you're using your knight to protect your bishop.
Okay.
And it's always good to have multiple pieces, helping each other. Yeah. Like, I'm going in, all right, I got your back around here, and whatnot. Or you can have like the bishop being sniper back there, like, watching over other pieces, So you made that move. I will counter. Here, I'm gonna make a. Ooh, I have a good move. Okay, I'm gonna move my queenside bishop all the way and to attack your knight. And this is what you call a. I think it's called a skewer. But anyway, it's basically. So what happens if you were to move your knight? Now.
You could take the queen.
Yeah, I could take your queen, which is, you don't want that to happen. She's, a powerful piece.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. So basically your knight is kind of stuck there, and I can attack them if I wanted to. What would be a move for you to kind of get my bishop out of that?
It's a great question. I could. Okay, I am not sure. Oh, I could bring this dude back diagonally.
You could bring it back to defend, but I'm saying like an attack. There's one move that you can make to attack me on this turn.
Could I do the first pawn move too?
Yeah, there you go. Because if you think of it, even if I took your pawn, you could take me back with your pawn, and I would only. So that's a 3-to-1 trade. So you would be coming up with a major piece. Okay, I'm gonna take your knight.
Okay.
First blood. Take with the queen. Down. Yeah. Take the bishop with the queen.
Got it.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Poor knight. And now his watch has ended. Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
No.
Anywho, so okay, now we had our first trade. I attack your knight. You attack my bishop. We're still kind of pretty even right now. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I am going move my queen up one step. Yes, I'm opening up my back row so I can castle.
Okay.
Queen side. I'm also using my queen to protect my knight. Another protection from my knight that you've been attacking.
Okay.
And then I'm also, there's a line diagonally to over kind of where your king and queen are over there. On that pawn on the side. Okay. So there's a little pressure there. I mean I wouldn't attack there, but it's for future, I'm thinking maybe future attacks, I'm gonna move the queen over and how dare you? How dare you? Maybe just move the pawn that was your queen's pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, just move it up one step. You don't want to move it up two because I could just take it.
Okay.
Right? So then that opens up a line for you to come down and perhaps attack my knight. And there. So now I'm going to castle queenside. So start with the king because it's a little different on this one.
Okay.
So start with the king in 2 spaces, and then the knight over on the other side. Yeah, rook I meant. Rook moves a little further on this side, but it works in the same way. But see, now look at I have a huge defense here, my little castle built up, and will never get me. I don't know, you could. So, all right, how about this? Now that you've moved the bishop out, come in and you're gonna come down and do a little attack on the knight. Yeah, right there. In the same way that I attacked your queen, remember? And I was like, I attacked your knight, and behind it was the queen. See, now you've got pressure on my knight, and if I move it, you take my rook, and that I could take you right back with my king or queen. That makes me points behind. Whose turn is it? Wait, I castled, and then you did that. This is a good setup though right now. See, this is like a good, I think this is like probably the start of like middle game. Maybe I don't want your bishop Near both of your bishops are attacking me. But I especially don't like the one that's pointed towards my queen.
True.
So I'm going to move my pawn on the side, yeah, on the furthest to the right.
Oh, right.
Yes, it's on my right. Yes, exactly. Think about it. Can you be attacked? Can I attack you?
I don't think so.
I'm going to move my other pawn up too.
This one?
Next door, yes.
Oh, no.
So now I have the another attack on the bishop. I guess I'm setting up good moves for myself, but I don't really. I'm not trying to do this necessarily, but
But checkmate.
I bet you didn't see this coming. But what is your enemy doing?
I feel like you got a nice little gang happening up here.
Mm-hmm.
So you seem to be. I feel like I was more offensive in a way, and now I'm kind of retreating. So you could capitalize on that and start chasing me down.
Yes.
I have no idea.
So what would you do? Actually, turn the board around. What do you think is the best move?
I don't know how important this pawn is, but you could take it with the knight.
So a good move for black actually would be continue that same pawn up. Keep on pushing. I would keep on pushing to the so the pawn right next to that knight, diagonally.
Okay. Listen.
If you move it forward one more space, yes.
Okay.
Then you have and then the knight's being attacked. This is good though.
All I see is boom, boom. Although you can kill me there.
Ooh, this is like, now you got to make decisions. Oh, I've got a good move. Okay, I'm gonna move my knight towards and attack the queen.
You could do this to your next.
I could I'm attacking your queen, yes. What am I also attacking?
The bishop.
The bishop too. It's not all bad, because your queen basically is, you can move her out of the way, and then if I wanted to take the bishop, it would be probably just a trade.
Right.
Yeah, you can move. Yeah, there and attack. Ooh, that's interesting. So if I moved. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do that. I'll take your bishop. Try this move. Move your queen all the way down to my pawn rank, down to near the king. This is really close to checkmate for white. It's like that's a good move. I don't even know what I would do. Emily, how the tables have turned. Maybe I'll just go ahead and take your rook with my knight. But Emily, you knew it all along. It was all just sacrifice for the ultimate price. If you move your queen down one space, that is checkmate. I think basically the first time I like played chess or saw people playing chess, the chess guy would come, for a chess club, and he would basically set up like a table on the cafetorium stage, all of these games of chess. And then basically, after you eat your lunch, you'd go up there, and then he would be like, playing all the kids. He's got 10, 15 boards, he's got all the students there, basically, and he's just like, beating everybody, beating all the kids because, they don't know how to play, and maybe it makes them feel good. No, I don't know. I went to chess club in like third grade, and I found it later in college, and I would meet up with some of my college friends, and so I think it's a really good pastime, and there's different strategies that you can use. And I just feel it's a really fun game because you never know how it's going to play out, or you really get to know kind of somebody's mind by like playing chess, in the same way as you get to know somebody by having a conversation, or like how music is, you get someone's essence by how they play music or playing music with somebody. It's just another way of communicating, but I feel it's like you get to know somebody's mind and how they think by how they play.
So with that, what can you tell us about Tyler Alderwood? Because I know you play him quite frequently.
Oh yeah, Tyler's a good chess player. He's fun. he's fun to play with because like he will get into situations, where he thinks he's like got it. He's like, all right, he's like, oh man, I'm gonna beat it, and then I'll find a way to like finagle my way out of it, and he's just like, he gets so he gets so mad.
That's very cool. Thanks for teaching me some stuff. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun to not just like play it out like with because obviously I have no strategy yet. I'm still building that up. So like to have you kind of process through it was fun, even though it's not. I mean, you beat yourself essentially.
Yeah.
But it's good.
But yeah, it's better. I think it's good to see inside of like why the moves are made, not just like, here's the move you made. That's not a good move. Consequence.
What's a big mistake that people usually make when they're starting out, or like the way that they're playing?
I think easy beginner mistakes is like moving pieces to spaces where they're not protected. It's hard for you because it's like spatial awareness. It's kind of like you kind of have to like, it's like kind of trying to move your things around in your house. Like, but you're like, okay, wait, so I have to move this out this way, but this, it's just kind of like a weird way of finagling things, but to do whatever you want. But you kind of gotta constantly be reminding yourself like, this is protecting this. So like, I can't move this other piece over here because now I'm being attacked here, Yeah. It's like all of those things, the more that you play, it's kind of like autopilot.
Any parting words for this tutorial?
For you and anybody else that watches that is interested in chess is like, don't be afraid to like lose. Don't be afraid to like lose or feel like bad.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love playing people that are better than me because they beat me, and then I'm like, oh, like but I see how you did that. Like, I learned something for my playing, in the world. It's like problem solving too. It's like how do I didn't think of it in this way, but maybe I can. Now I'll think of it in a different way.
Thanks so much for taking some time. This was fun.
Yeah, of course.
I am ready to conquer the world with my chess skills.
All right, take care, Emily.
All righty. Talk to you later.
All right, checkmate.